Hi Pisces, welcome to Carol's Universe Tarot Readings from the Heart. So thanks ever so much for joining me on your second bonus reading. So for October, what I've done for each of the signs is I've done an extended Celtic Cross love reading just to have a look at the general energies around you guys. Overall October, you'll get a Gypsy Tarot love spread probably mid-month, between the 16th and the end of October. The other thing that I'm doing, you've got your normal general Celtic crosses as well up for you guys as well, where I appear on the video. But we're doing another bonus video, and I thought this would be quite interesting to do with some of you guys. So this is he or she, how does he or she feel about me? And as you can notice, all my tarot packs are labelled for certain readings that I do. So, for example, these readings will be on the website, so they'll explore the feelings of another individual and what the potential is of a relationship between you and this individual. So that's going to be a reading that's going to be up on the website very, very soon. And also the expanded Celtic Cross love reading will be up there as well as Is Love Coming In. So there's a lot of readings that are going to be going out on the website soon. And I really just wanted to do this as a general reading for you guys, as your bonus reading too. So and what we're going to do, we are going to take the cards out like so, and we'll use clarifiers if we need to use clarifiers on this reading. And what we're going to do, we're going to have a look. So what we'll do is we're going to look at the person here. Alright, so this will be the person. This will be what their attributes are as an individual, and underneath what you'll see is their flaws. So what is it that what is it that negatively aspects them as a person? So Universe Spirit, show me the person that Pisces is interested in. It could be their partner or the person that Pisces is interested in. I then need you to show me this person's attributes. Show me what this person's flaws are. Also show me what the inner thoughts of this person is towards Pisces. Show me what Pisces' inner thoughts are towards this person. Show me the strengths of this relationship. Show me the weaknesses of this relationship. Show me in card number 8 the potential for a healthy relationship with this person. Show me the overall outcome or final analysis of where this relationship is heading. And the potential roadblocks, so the potential blocks that you see happening in this relationship, show me. Alright, so we've shuffled the cards. I'm going to split the deck, as I always do, into 3. And what we're going to do, we're going to start laying out. So this is the person that you guys are potentially interested in. This is the person's attributes. And this is the person's flaws. And this is for male or female, okay? You've then got this person's, what are this person's inner thoughts about you showing here, Pisces? Your inner thoughts about them. We're looking at the strengths in this relationship. Okay, we're also looking at the weaknesses down here in this relationship. And we're looking at the potential for a healthy relationship here. We're looking at the outcome stroke final analysis on what this relationship is or how it is. And here we've got the potential roadblocks or the potential things that are blocking this relationship, okay? And we'll use clarifiers from the miniature Rider-Waite deck if we need to, okay? So let me get my pointed pen. So we're going to have a look at the person first, so who the partner is or who the person is that you guys are interested in. And it's showing us, that's interesting. I've just turned these cards around the wrong bloody way. Sorry, let me just turn them back up the right way. Sorry about that, guys. I was dealing them in the reverse, but they're not meant to be reversed. That's obvious because I'm dealing them. That's interesting. Let me just see. Alright. That's interesting. Alright, so... Oh... Let's just have a look which way these were. Well, yeah, they're meant to be reversed. I'm sorry. They are actually meant to be fucking reversed. Sorry, I bloody well hate reversals, but they're in there. They're in there. And I thought, oh, well, maybe I've got it wrong, but I'm not wrong. They are actually in there. They're meant to be there. Alright, so, yeah, they're meant to be there. They are actually meant to be those reversals, I'm afraid. Alright, so, sorry about that, yeah, they're meant to be in there for sure. I don't often use reversals. I do like them, but sometimes I can make something a little bit too bloody negative, but they're meant to be in there. Sometimes when you get a lot of reversals, it's meant to be showing you something to the client that needs to be really desperately worked on. So that's why it will happen that way. This person right now is showing us the Two of Pentacles in the reverse. So this person might have reached a point of complete and utter stagnancy in terms of your partnership. There might not be a need to move forward or even a need to make any changes, because that's what the Two of Pentacles reversed is. It's complete and utter stagnancy. Somebody's not moving either way. You know, you get it in the upright. Yes, it does show somebody who might be feeling slightly unstable, but at least with the Two of Pentacles, there's still movement. There's still somebody here who is trying to, you know, somebody's trying to go with the flow. It might be that somebody's managing two people, but often when you get the two, and also there is a need to try and weigh things up in order to come to some form of conclusion. But in the reverse, for me, this is complete and utter stagnancy with this Two of Pentacles. And this is the partner or the person you're interested in might also be a Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo individual for some of you guys. But this person, I would still say that this, you know, and also this Two of Pentacles could represent that this person's dealing with a lot of stuff at the moment, because the Two of Pentacles reverse means that somebody's just got too many choices. They're really overwhelmed by so much stuff going on around them. So it might be this person is kind of feeling a little bit burdened. This partner or this person you guys are interested in, it might be, but they're feeling overly burdened, all right? And they're finding it difficult to get a grasp on those burdens or those things, whether it's with you or whether it's external things. This person's kind of weighed down by burdens at the moment, and that might be why there's an air of stagnancy going on around this individual. What are their attributes? Well, the High Priestess in the reverse, which is interesting as a card. So the High Priestess in the reverse would potentially represent, sometimes the High Priestess in the reverse represents somebody who, see in the upright, the High Priestess is super secretive, so she never really says anything. The High Priestess reversed usually, and it's an attribute, so it needs to be something that is positive about this person. It might be that this person is an extraordinarily, I'm getting the vibes with this individual that they're not entirely bad Pisces, you know, and it's funny because you're Pisces, but the attributes, it might be that you're dealing with another Pisces individual here. But in the reverse, the High Priestess is either somebody who is pretty dangerous. Sometimes they can be manipulative, but we can't use that as an explanation, because what we're looking at is the positive side of who this person is. So the High Priestess really is where something is being revealed in terms of a secret, because she's reversed, okay? So, it's, you know, this person might be fairly open to speaking what's on their mind, if we were to look at it maybe as being positive of who the person is, because it's the High Priestess reverse that's the person's attribute, okay? So the High Priestess reverse no longer becomes so passive that she doesn't do anything or she doesn't say anything. She's reversed. So even though this person might be open and honest, it is probably in your best interest, because it shows that the person for me isn't hiding shit, okay? And it is in the reverse, so I can see why that would show up in the reverse as the High Priestess reversed. And it shows somebody who takes time and they're quite diligent in terms of their thoughts and their feelings, because this can be somebody who really sits and thinks about stuff when you get this High Priestess. And we can't use any of the negative aspects of the High Priestess reverse to explain, because we're looking at what the person's attributes are this. So it might be that right now the partner is dealing with many, many things, or the person around you is dealing with many, many things, Pisces. Okay, and it might be that the attributes are with the High Priestess, that they might be quite transparent because it's reversed. So sometimes, most of the time, the reversals will mean the complete opposite, or they'll have some form of opposite aspect to the card, to what the upright is. So for me, this is somebody who's possibly quite clear, or who's being quite clear with this. So they're trying to be transparent on maybe what this thing is that they're dealing with here. Their flaws. are the Ace of Cups. So that's funny that the Ace of Cups is their flaw. Because it might mean that their flaws are that they're a hopeless romantic here. But it's interesting because they're showing us the Two of Pentacles reversed. This is the person here, the Two of Pentacles in the reverse. You know, I think that the person around you guys is still holding on to something here with the Two of Pentacles reversed. I think that they are still trying to manage something with you, for some of you Pisces individual, that's difficult, but they're not willing to let go of that thing with the Two of Pentacles. I think that they're dealing with a lot of stuff, but they're still just dealing with it. I think the good thing is that they're open with this High Priestess energy here, but I think the flaws or the negativities is that they might be completely focused on maybe the romance, or they're focused on love in terms of this relationship. But what I almost get the impression that if they're quite stagnant and they're dealing with a lot of stuff here with this Two of Pentacles, they're probably the attributes are that they're quite open about whatever that is with the High Priestess reversed. Their flaws are that maybe they feel that love can save everything with the Ace of Cups. Maybe, you know, a meal, maybe inviting you to do something nice can save whatever this energy is, because they might always respond to the idea that love is the thing that can save whatever this situation is. You know, things might be difficult because the person's dealing with a hell of a lot of shit here, and they're transparent and they're open about it in their attributes. But I think that with the Ace of Cups being their flaws, and how do we read the Ace of Cups as being a flaw? Well, it means an illusion. So it might be that this person has an illusion that things can still be worked out. The Ace of Cups means love, being in love, and their flaws in terms of the relationship are that with this Ace of Cups, it's still at this concept stage where everything is going to be hearts and flowers, and it will all be worked out, and it'll all be fine, and it'll all be lovely, and not to worry about it. But I get the impression that if they're dealing with a lot of stuff here and their flaws are love, the Ace of Cups, the Ace of Cups isn't reversed, so it's not saying that they are not receptive to love and they're not giving love. It's saying that maybe they give too much, or maybe they're still in the illusionary stage of thinking that everything can be sorted out by love without looking at the other areas of the relationship, or whatever this is. This person's inner thoughts about you are the Four of Wands. So they know that you feel you're dissatisfied, because the Four of Wands is their inner thoughts about you. So it's their thoughts about, you know, it's what they think of you. And they think that you're the Four of Wands in the reverse. So they might think that you're fairly dissatisfied. You're feeling a sense of instability in the situation here with this Four of Wands energy, Pisces. So this person knows that maybe you feel a sense of instability, because I think that they're coping with a lot of stuff here with this Two of Pentacles reversed. They're showing us somebody who's carrying a lot of responsibilities here. And their flaws are they might feel that they can sort through everything by, you know, I'll take you out to dinner, or I'll buy you a little trinket, or something like that. They think that something can be sorted out through a nice gesture with the Ace of Cups. And the good thing is that they seem to me with the High Priestess, their attributes is to be fairly open as well in the reverse. But their thoughts on you is that you're feeling quite unstable, I feel, here with this Four of Wands reversed. Your thoughts on them is the Ten of Pentacles in the reverse, that possibly they don't dedicate enough time to the relationship with this Ten of Pentacles. They might always be working, for example. The Ten of Pentacles reversed shows rifts in the family. It's like the Ten of Cups. It shows a rift. It shows divisions in the family. It shows financial problems as well. But it shows, for me, this Ten of Pentacles in the reverse, because in the upright it means somebody who's quite loyal to the building and sustenance of a family. It might be that you also feel that this person isn't quite, because both cards represent home and family. So it might be that for you, this person, they feel that their inner thoughts about you is that you are kind of a little bit dissatisfied, or quite dissatisfied within whatever this relationship is with that Four of Wands. And for you feel that this person with the Ten of Pentacles in the reverse is not really giving enough time to sustaining whatever this situation is. And I get a feeling that I'm reading for people who are actually in relationships and who are actually in something that has been building for a while. And I get the feeling that you guys, your thoughts on this person with the Ten of Pentacles is that they are not, again, the most stable of people. They're not withholding the vows, if you're married, of the relationship. They're not putting a lot of effort into sustaining or growing or building the relationship with this Ten of Pentacles in the reverse, because everything seems to be a little bit conflicting with this Ten of Pentacles reverse in terms of your thoughts, your inner thoughts about this individual. If we were to look at strengths in your relationship, well, the Six of Pentacles in the reverse is a strength. So you're not in each other's pockets, really. Six of Pentacles in the reverse is a card that says, you know, this isn't about give and take. This is more about a lack of give and take. But the funny thing is the reverse card is showing as a strength. So as I say, reversals aren't always negative at all. Sometimes they show a strength. And the strength is that you're not, it's not a relationship where one person is dependent on the other. The Six of Pentacles is a card that shows one person is asking for help or support from the other. So sometimes this can be the card of imbalance and also codependency on another for support. So in the reverse, this isn't like this at all. The Six of Pentacles in the reverse is where there is no kind of need to invest sort of on a codependency level with another individual. I think that both of you can be quite independent of each other with this Six of Pentacles reversed. Okay, because the Six of Pentacles in reverse reflects a lack of commitment to something, or a lack of needing to either invest in another individual or needing to take from that individual. And I think that right now, for you guys, the strength is that you aren't in each other's pockets with this Six of Pentacles, and you could quite easily survive on your own with this Six of Pentacles in the reverse being a strength. The weakness in the relationship is the Hermit. So it's the weakness is feeling a sense of loneliness for some of you guys within this relationship, because even though the strength is that you're not 100% dependent on each other, you're not overly investing either of you in whatever this situation is, Pisces. I feel that the weakness is that some of you guys might feel a little bit detached and a little bit alone in this relationship. So the good thing is, yeah, you're not overly invested, you're not in each other's pockets. The Six of Pentacles is where there is a lack of needing to invest, or a lack of codependence. You know, there's no codependency here with this Six of Pentacles in the reverse, because it represents not to invest too heavily in something here. Okay, when you get it, because the upright is about give and take, sharing and creating balance. This is about an imbalance. But the good thing is, in a way, with this Six of Pentacles being the strength in your relationship, it shows that neither of you have to depend on each other for anything. But therefore, as a result of that, the weakness comes that it might make some of you guys feel a little bit out there on your own. A little bit kind of like, well, if we're not sort of in this give and take relationship, then what are we? You know, with the Hermit energy, well, what is this? What does this reduce the relationship down to? Because we're not in each other's pockets. There's no sort of needing to depend on anybody, on each other for anything. We're both kind of independent, whether you're married, whether it's just a relationship, whatever it is. But then I think the weakness is the sense with the Hermit card of feeling kind of on one's own, a sense of loneliness, because there doesn't seem to be that, you know. And also here as well, with you feeling that this person, you're thinking that this person is the Ten of Pentacles in the reverse. So the Ten of Pentacles in the reverse shows conflicts within the family unit, and it also shows instability, insecurity within the family. Okay, so it might be that you think that this person is not 100% dedicated to building this relationship, and the strengths are that you're okay. You're okay, well, I can do it on my own. But then the weakness is, but I do feel on my own, and this is what I would like. Because this person already knows that you guys are going through a bit of a wobble. You're feeling unstable in terms of the Four of Wands. They think that you're the Four of, what they think of you, their inner thoughts about you are the Four of Wands energy. Alright? So the Four of Wands energy is about instability in the home. So they might be feeling that you're unstable. You feel unstable about the relationship. And you feel that they're not giving enough, maybe. Or they're not putting in enough effort. Or they might be dividing this relationship with that Ten of Pentacles reversed. And though both of you guys are kind of, the strengths are that you're okay to do things on your own with this Six of Pentacles reversed, I do feel the weakness is that some of you might have too much time on your hands on your own. You might not see enough of the individual with this Hermit card. The potential for a healthy relationship for you guys is the Four of Swords. So if you guys can find some balance, if you can find the middle ground with the Four of Swords, I think that there is some potential, but, you know, if you can heal or you can find a way to resolve and recover whatever it is that you guys have been going through, then I do think that there is potential here with the Four of Swords. I mean, the Four of Swords is kind of like a maybe card. If anything, there might be some potential here, I feel, with this Four of Swords. Let's have a look at what the outcome or final analysis for some of you guys is. Well, the Eight of Swords is good. If you can, again, we've got this kind of recovery and healing is the potential for a healthy relationship. So this is about kind of taking time out, thinking about, you know, how you can resurrect or how you can restore or how you can repair the relationship with this Four of Swords energy. Okay, because we're looking at, well, what's the potential for a healthy relationship? Well, it's the Four of Swords. I think there is the potential for something healthy here, but it's all to do in the recovery of how you deal with this situation. And the outcome or final analysis is the Eight of Swords, that there is going to be some release here because you've got the Eight of Swords in the reverse. In the upright, it says you've still got problems. In the reverse, it says, well, problems will be released with this Eight of Swords. But what are the roadblocks? What are the challenges to your relationship? Well, it's the Nine of Pentacles in the reverse. It's that one of you wants to be in a relationship that is completely together, because the Nine of Pentacles reverse shows somebody who doesn't want to be completely out of something. You know, the Nine of Pentacles in the upright means somebody's quite happy to be independent. And, you know, you can be independent in a relationship with the Nine of Pentacles. But in the reverse, the blockages are that one of you craves more of the togetherness or to be more together within a relationship, Pisces. All right? And that's your blockage also. That, you know, there is a sense of wanting, whether it's on your part or the other person's part, wanting the relationship to be more than just sort of, whether it's passing ships in the night or whether it's just having to deal with the relationship as it is, you know, with this Six of Pentacles element here showing us the strength. Yeah, the strengths are, yeah, we're okay, we're good. Not being kind of like overly invested, or we're good, not kind of having to be in each other's pockets or having to show each other that we care and that this is, you know, we're good as we are. We're good just kind of playing it by ear and seeing how it goes, because we're not overly invested in kind of this partnership stuff. But that's a lie, because the blocks in your relationship are this Nine of Pentacles reversed. And the Nine of Pentacles reversed, for some of you guys, it might be finances. Maybe that's why this person's doing this. So Nine of Pentacles can see problems with finances. Sometimes somebody spent too much, or sometimes there is a lowering of security in terms of finances. So drainage of finances here. So for some of you guys, your blocks might be, especially if it's a long-term relationship, it might be the finances that are the blocks in the relationship. And that might be why this person is, you know, especially if this is someone you're involved with, and that might be why this person is dealing with many things, especially financial issues with the Two of Pentacles in the reverse. I mean, big time, finding it difficult, trying to cope. Might be something to do with the finances is the block. Okay, and that might be why the weakness is not seeing much of each other. Okay, or feeling isolated. It might be that the strength in the relationship is that you guys can do your own thing. It might be in terms of where you're both working towards something if you're in a relationship here. But this person sees that you're dissatisfied and you feel that this person's not doing enough family time shit, basically. So for you, those of you who are actually in a relationship, it might be that you feel that the person's not doing enough family type shit. But the person's flaws are the Ace of Cups, so it might be that every response to when they're not around, it might be to shower you with a gift, or it might be just to say I love you, and that's enough. But there's not, to me, the flaws for this person is there's not enough action, because you're thinking of them as the Ten of Pentacles. Okay, you're thinking of them as the Ten of Pentacles. The strengths are the Six of Pentacles in the reverse, but the weakness is the Hermit in the reverse. There's isolation here, and the strength is in isolation from one another here as well with this Six of Pentacles. It's the lack of give and take in the relationship, but that's a strength in your relationship, apparently, where you're not in each other's pockets. There's no need to be codependent on each other, but it's acting against you as being a weakness, because it means that you kind of spend more time apart or more time feeling quite solitary in whatever this is, Pisces, and you're starting to think about this person as a Ten of Pentacles, that they're not putting enough effort in. Possibly there's money problems here, and that's why this person's not doing that. But they're being transparent, I feel, with this High Priestess being their attribute. And but they don't know how to deal with it, because they're coming back to you with everything to do with love. You know, it's all about the love, but I do love you, but you know that I care, but I just can't be there right now. So I feel that for some of you guys, somebody just can't be there right now. For some of you guys, it might be that the obstacle is in your relationship that this might be you don't want to just be kind of the independent person in the relationship, or just a bit on the side, or the person that doesn't feel like the girlfriend or the boyfriend, you know. Because you don't feel that this person, your thoughts on this person is they're not 100% invested with that Ten of Pentacles here. And they're thinking that you're starting to have a bit of a wobble in terms of what's going on in this relationship. Again, the strengths are you're not in each other's pockets with that Six of Pentacles reversed. But then the weakness is it does make you feel isolated. The overall analysis, as I've said, is that you can come out of this because you've got the Eight of Swords. I'm going to have a look at why the Eight of Swords is the overall analysis for this relationship, Pisces. Let's have a look here. So why is the overall analysis for Pisces in this relationship, the final analysis, the Eight of Swords in the reverse? Why is the final analysis the Eight of Swords in the reverse? Show me. Because the Queen of Swords. Okay. So sometimes that's divorce. So it might be for some of you guys, because you've got Queen of Swords and the Hierophant. Hierophant is commitment, and the Queen of Swords is about emotional distance in a commitment here. So if for some of you guys, or it could be something, you know, you get Ace of Swords, Hierophant, you get the sword cards and it means something like divorce, or it means something like a detachment or a relationship that's not based on love. Because you've got the Queen of Swords and the Hierophant, and this is an emotionally distant commitment. So really for me it's saying, yeah, you could. The overall analysis is you'll be fine with the Eight of Swords reverse. It says that there will be a release of pressure here with the Eight of Swords reverse, but it's only if you can emotionally distance yourself from this commitment, in this commitment with the Queen of Swords energy. Could be if you communicated something in terms of the commitment here with the Hierophant energy, all right? You know, you've got the Ace of Swords sitting there. You know, this is about being committed to the truth. So for some of you guys, there needs to be real communication, I think, going on here. But also this can be kind of emotionally detaching or cutting off the commitment here with the Hierophant through the truth. So some of you guys, it might be that you go it alone, because the Queen of Swords often means to cut out. This is a commitment and this is about the truth. All right, so there's something about talking about the truth and being honest where you guys stand. But also it could be for some of you guys, you need to emotionally distance yourself in terms of this commitment, maybe with that Hierophant, you know, because there's a lot of hurt here, I feel, and I think it's being suppressed for some of you guys and you're not talking about it, so you might need to talk, clear the air. She's also a great communicator, is the Queen of Swords. Can also be clear perception, maybe in terms of the way you want this commitment to go needs to be spoken about, maybe with the Ace of Swords. And I'm just reading the keywords for the cards because there's 1,001 ways to read a tarot card, okay? So I think that there is, for some of you guys, it's about, with the Queen of Swords and this Hierophant, this is like, if you're in a marriage, for example, if you accept that this is what it is, then this Queen of Swords, because she's so emotionally detached and she's not really in a commitment for love, she's in a commitment for, if she's in a marriage, then she's in a marriage for convenience sake. And if you guys can admit to that and say, okay, this marriage at the moment with this Queen of Swords, Hierophant and Ace of Swords is convenient for me and my needs, then yeah, the overall analysis is you'll release. There's going to be a release here no matter what for some of you guys. For some of you guys, it will be admitting that maybe for some of you, especially if it's a marriage or a relationship, it might simply be just a relationship of convenience because she's not a particularly emotionally invested person. And this is the card about marriage, all right? So this is about not about an emotionally invested marriage. This is about a marriage that makes sense. So for some of you guys, it might be, yeah, if you can say, well, okay, we'll have a relationship or a marriage where it's not about emotions, but it's more about what makes sense, you know, working together as a team, bringing the money in, or, you know, this person's right for me because, you know, we both like to travel, or we both like to do this, but there's nothing really romantic in it. And if you guys are okay with that, then that's fine. That's fine. We're going to have a look at why the potential for a healthy relationship is the Four of Swords. Why is the potential for a healthy relationship for Pisces in this situation, the Four of Swords? Show me. Alright, we've got the Eight of Pentacles in the reverse. and the Hanged Man upright. It's saying because a lack of effort has brought this situation to a halt. So therefore, the potential for a healthy relationship is a number 4. So if we were to read it numerically, it's kind of like, well, you get ace to a 3, it says very little. 4 to a 7 or 4 to a 6, 4, 5, 6 is usually kind of, well, yeah, kind of, it might be. But for me, this is not good, because you've got the clarifier saying that there's been a lack of effort here with the 8 of Pentacles in the reverse, has brought kind of a relationship to a halt with that Hanged Man. I mean, the healthy relationship with this 4 of Swords, I would probably say that there's a lot of things that are being kind of suppressed here with this 4 of Swords showing up. So as long as this continues, probably not going to be healthy, because a lack of effort has brought in the Hanged Man. 8 of Pentacles means when you don't want to work on something anymore, you're bored with it, there's a lack of motivation. A lack of motivation has just brought things to a standstill, I feel, with the Hanged Man for some of you guys. And that's why the potential for a healthier relationship, really, I'd read it as a number now, is a number 4. So it's very low, because there's a lack of effort here within this relationship. Why is the partner or the person that Pisces is interested in the 2 of Pentacles in the reverse? Why is the person that Pisces is interested in the 2 of Pentacles in the reverse, show me? Because of the Tower. Right, so I think that this person might have problems with money. I'm not going to read this as a court card. Another person, okay? Some of you guys, you might have found out about a Queen of Pentacles, an Earth sign, Gemini, Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. But, you know, this is usually about finances, okay, security. And it might be with the Tower card, this person has had some chaos in terms of finances with that Queen of Pentacles. Queen of Pentacles is all about the finances that we hold. It's about our resources. This is chaos. And we've got 2 of Pentacles here. So this person might be under quite a bit of pressure. It might be because they've got some chaos or some problems. Could be problems in terms of living residence, which is what the Queen of Pentacles is. It's about the home. So problems there. Or it could be problems simply in terms of trying to maintain a steady flow of finances. And it might be that they're under pressure here. Okay, showing up. I'm going to see why this person thinks of you as the 4 of Wands. Why is this person's thoughts about you, inner thoughts about you, the 4 of Wands? We've got 5 of Cups showing there. What do you mean by the 5 of Cups? What do you mean by the 5 of Cups? Show me. Well, this is sadness over this relationship here. So it might be their inner thoughts about you is that this, you know, can they make it with you? Can this, does this, because it's in the reverse. So it might be their, if we look at the words inner thoughts about you, so it's what are they thinking about you? What do they think of you? Is it what they think of your personality, or what is it that they think about you in this relationship? And it might be that they think that this is, in terms of you, is it a stable relationship? But it could also be that they feel that you're wavering here because there's sadness or there's disappointment in terms of love. Got the Ace of Cups, 5 of Cups is disappointment. And this is in terms of what's being offered here. This person's got its back, and this is you, Pisces. 5 of Cups has got its back to love being offered. So you're not happy with what's on offer at the moment with this individual here. And I'm going to see why you think of them as being the 10 of Pentacles reversed. Why does Pisces think of this person being the 10 of Pentacles reversed? Show me in 2 cards. Right, you've got a High Priestess in the upright here, and the 10 of Swords in the reverse. Because holding back, High Priestess, or remaining nonchalant, which this card can represent, or not saying or being passive, releases the pressure. So I feel that you feel that this person isn't 100% invested. They're not making any effort here, because it's almost like if they hold back a little bit with that High Priestess, if they just remain passive or ignore the issues in the relationship, it's kind of not putting any pressure on them. You know, so I feel that here you feel that this person doesn't want any pressure. They don't want to be laden with pressures in this relationship, especially if they've got problems with finances or other people around them, for example. I think the person might be burdened. I think that you feel that, you know, them being, you think of them your thoughts about them are the Ten of Pentacles in the reverse, that you know, this relationship with them is not particularly stable, okay, that there's conflicts in this relationship, and that's because the High Priestess, all right, and that also in terms of your thoughts of them with the Ten of Pentacles in the reverse, they're not particularly putting an effort into building this thing with you, because it's almost like they feel that if they avoid it, it loosens the pressure, and it's got something to do with who they are at the moment. I want to see why their flaws are the Ace of Cups. Why is this person's flaws the Ace of Cups? Why is this person's flaws the Ace of Cups? Show me. Because the Sun. Okay, because they feel that by being nice, by being really positive, it will lessen with that Five of Swords problems. Because the Five of Swords in the reverse means to resolve an issue with a person here. And also, the Five of Swords in the reverse means that you win. So, being nice means that they win with this Five of Swords, okay? There's no conflict here. It's almost like a mechanism that they're using to kind of overcome any problems. So, they're being quite, I think they're being slightly manipulative here, not in a bad way, but they might be, in terms of their flaws, offering love or, you know, being all lovey-dovey with you, because with this Sun energy, it's almost like they're saying, well, if I use positive words, then this will just kind of resolve any problems here going on. Let's have a quick look at why their attributes are the High Priestess in the reverse. Why are their attributes the High Priestess in the reverse? Show me in 2 cards. Right, because of the Page of Cups reverse, and this is somebody who's not receptive. Okay. Okay, so the Page of Cups is in the reverse, and this is somebody who's not open and they're not receptive to offering love. So this is somebody who's possibly quite lacking in the intuition with the Page of Cups in the reverse, but also they're, when you get the Page of Cups in the reverse, this is somebody who's also having to be quite mature as well, and they're kind of looking at things in a, rather than a childlike way, in a very mature way. And we do have the Temperance, which represents imbalance, feeling disharmony. And I think that they are very open here. Their attribute is that they're very open, because I think that they're sensing that they're not really receptive at the moment to a place of, I think for some of you guys, it might be somebody might be going through somewhat of a depression here. And I think they're being open about it, because I think that they've been under a lot of burdens. It could be with another partner, for example. They might be having problems with the Tower card with another partner. The Queen of Pentacles could be an earth sign. But it could also be they've got just problems in general in their everyday life. It might be with their health with the Queen of Pentacles. It might be in their work with the Queen of Pentacles. It might be in their home life with the Queen of Pentacles. But they're feeling quite consumed by this. And the only way I feel that they can respond to it with you, Pisces, is by offering just love, just nice words. Because by being positive, they'll kind of resolve the situation with the Five of Swords in the reverse and the built-up tension between you and this individual. I feel that this person here thinks about you as the Four of Wands in the reverse. So you're starting to wobble. You're not feeling stable in the relationship. And that's because of this disappointment in what they're offering to you. There's a lot of disappointment and there's a lot of sadness in this relationship. I think that you think about them as being somebody who can't sustain a relationship at the moment, long term, with this Ten of Pentacles. Because I think that you might think that they're avoiding. In avoidance, it lowers the pressure. So having to kind of build or be kind of consistent in terms of actions and building the relationship, this is something they want to avoid at the moment, because it loosens the pressure, especially if this person's going through pressure here. I think that your relationship, the strength in the relationship of the Six of Pentacles reversed. Why the strength in this relationship for Pisces? The Six of Pentacles in the reverse. Because the Eight of Swords, Two of Pentacles. Okay, so yeah, I think that your strengths are the Six of Pentacles, not being in each other's pockets, not being, neither one of you being overly codependent on the other, because it's almost like you feel that with this Eight of Swords in the upright, that it would be being trapped or showing that you felt, you know, this Eight of Swords in terms of love means limitations in terms of a relationship. So it's almost like you don't do this, your strengths are not doing this, because to trap yourselves or to limit yourselves in the relationship would end up breaking the relationship in two, because you've got Two of Cups in the reverse. So therefore, you know, therefore the weakness though in the relationship is the Hermit. Why is the weakness in the relationship the Hermit? Why is the weakness for Pisces in this relationship the Hermit? because of justice. Some of you guys might have just made a decision here with the justice card just to let go of the pressure, not to be so controlling, not to be so guarded. You know, you might have made, and that's hard. That is hard because here, and I almost feel like it's something that you are pandering to the other person with, Pisces, that it seems to me that your strengths are that you're not in each other's pockets. You're both very, very autonomous, independent individuals, if you recognise this person. And that's because to put limitations on the relationship, to start going off in a hissy fit and fussing and being annoyed and being frustrated and showing that frustration with the Eight of Swords, and also forcing the person to, you know, to make a decision, or making the person feel that they are, you know, backed up in a corner with that Eight of Swords, could result in the ending of the relationship with the Eight of Cups. So in the reverse. So I feel that for some of you guys, the strength is that you're giving each other space, I feel, with this Six of Pentacles in the reverse. But as a result of that, the weakness then is that there is isolation and loneliness here, because you make a decision with the Justice card to let down that pressure, because the Nine of Wands often means pressure. So you've made a decision to loosen the pressure, but then making that decision just to kind of say, hey, everything's fine, don't worry about it. We'll just be kind of independent. We'll see how it goes. We'll just go with the flow. I'm not going to put any pressure on you, this, that, and the other. It's leaving you feeling kind of a bit isolated for some of you guys. And therefore, the potential for how the relationship is, the Four of Swords, which I think is very low potential for a healthy relationship, because there's lack of effort being put in. And this lack of effort that we can see here for some of you guys is resulting in the Hanged Man. And that is just kind of laziness. There's a lack of effort and laziness going on, all right? But also a lack of effort that's bringing things to a kind of a bit of a standstill with that Hanged Man energy. The overall analysis, so the final analysis of this relationship for some of you Pisces guys, and it's funny because Pisces is High Priestess, but we're reading, you know, this can be you as well. It can be, well, your feelings for this person, your thoughts on them is that they don't put much energy into the relationship here. All right, they're a little bit outside of the relationship in a way. And that could be because you don't tell them. And you're not telling them stuff as the High Priestess, Pisces, because you don't want them to feel pressurised with the Ten of Swords. Anyway, the overall outcome, the pure final analysis is, yeah, you could, you know, the final analysis is there is a letting go of pressure here within this relationship, definitely in the outcome. But that's based on some of you guys needing to understand that this is probably, you know, for me, Queen of Swords and Hierophant reminds me of a marriage or a partnership of convenience. All right, and I think that with the Ace of Swords, this is more like a realisation of that. For some of you guys, it might be divorce. You get cards like Ace of Swords, which means change. So commitment has changed. This is a change here. Change card. Okay? So it could be that you communicate that the commitment has changed here. And this was what would release this. And that could either be that if you're married, you might look at a divorce. If you are, you know, married or in a union or whatever, you might look at just saying, look, things have changed. Let's just go with the flow. And, you know, we both don't have the time to put in the effort, and I don't want to really bother you or put any type of problems on you to have that, to succumb to that, because this person looks like they're already under a lot of pressure already, and you don't want to add more to it. And it might be just here that you succumb to, you know, the Queen of Swords is not romantic. This is a woman or a woman who isn't romantic in a committed relationship, and it's kind of, for some of you guys, it will be okay, male or female. And finally, the potential blocks in your relationship are the Nine of Pentacles reversed. Why are the potential not roadblocks for Pisces in this relationship? The Nine of Pentacles in the reverse, show me. Right, you've got the World in the reverse. And the King of Cups in the reverse. Okay. So the roadblocks are, I feel that you guys would like more closeness within a relationship with this Nine of Pentacles reverse, because the Nine of Pentacles reverse says I don't want to be single, and I don't want to be too independent and too much on my own in this relationship. I want closeness. And I think the obstacles is the closeness in the relationship, because the World in the reverse, there are things that are still not being resolved here, and things that are still, there is still a certain openness here that is bringing about, there is a lack of communication here, or there is a lack of really getting down to the nitty gritty and resolving with this world, because the world card in reverse means things are not being tied up. There are still loose ends that are bringing about inner disharmony with this King of Cups in the reverse. For some of you guys, it might be that there are loose ends with somebody, with a water sign individual, Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces, a fellow water sign person. But the loose ends are not being tied up, either with an individual of this type, or loose ends are not being tied up in the relationship that are bringing about this energy of the King of Cups reverse, which is anger and internalised rage and internalised annoyance. Okay, so those are your roadblocks, wanting something more closer, because things are not being tied up. So you're not really communicating properly here. You might communicate on the surface here, but your roadblocks are there's nothing that's going deeper than that. You're looking at what the situation is within the relationship, but what you're not doing is you're not examining how you guys could get to the core of how you could actually really be with this individual properly. Things aren't being examined, and it's either, I feel, bringing internalised rage with this King of Cups in the reverse, or there's unfinished business with this World card in the reverse with somebody who's internalising a lot of stuff. And your obstacle is getting closer to that individual with this Nine of Pentacles in the reverse. Very interesting reading. We'll quickly do it one more time so we've got it down pat before I go. So right now this partner is dealing with a lot of things. The partner or person you like is dealing with a lot of things. It could be because they've broken up with another individual, would be an earth sign, Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. Or it might be they've got problems with their home, or they've got problems with their money or their business or their health, for example. But they're dealing with a lot here. This person's attributes, for me, the Queen of the High Priestess in the upright means to be clear and visible, because in the, or visibly giving over some form of knowledge here. And I think that this is because this person with the Page, they're not receptive to to harmony at the moment. They're not very receptive to that at the moment. They don't see it. I think that they're kind of starting to mature up a little bit, that there is disharmony in the relationship, and they're being clear about that. But it's because of these energies here. And I think that how they respond to this is trying to be loving, because they figure that if they're nice with the Sun card, it will resolve a whole heap of problems with the Five of Swords reversed. I think how this person thinks about you is that you don't feel very stable at the moment, Four of Wands in the reverse, okay? Because you're unhappy at what they're offering to you with the Ace of Cups. And how you might feel about this person is they're not putting in enough effort. They're causing some form of division in the relationship, because it might be for some of you guys that you keep quiet. You feel that you've got to keep quiet because then you won't put pressure on the individual, or you feel that they're keeping quiet, they're not doing much because they don't need the pressure here. The strengths in the relationship are, I feel with this Six of Pentacles, it's a lack of codependency, or needing to kind of depend on one person to give the other something here. Because I feel for some of you guys it's about putting someone to ransom, or causing frustration, or making someone feel that their hands are tied. Backing them up into a corner is going to cause the dissolution of the relationship with that Two of Cups in the reverse. But on the other hand, the weakness, therefore, as a result of that, is you guys are feeling a lot of loneliness here, because you make a decision not to, with this Nine of Wands, defend your rightful state here. You're not really being honest, and you're not really owning up to stuff. You don't want to do that because you're afraid of this. And therefore, the potential for a healthy relationship is at a number 4, which is very little, because there is no effort being put in to try and possibly no effort being put in to try and look at the situation from a different perspective, how it could be resolved in a different way. Could also be that no effort is just bringing in laziness, or no effort is leading to halts and stuff within the relationship. The outcome, pure final analysis for this, whatever this relationship is for you guys, is that, yeah, you could get release, but it'll either be, I feel, through the courts. Queen of Swords, can be, to do with the legal profession. Hierophant is commitment. Ace of Swords is about clarity and truth and division and change. So it could be that in your commitment there are changes. Some of you guys, it might be if you just decide with this Queen of Swords, okay, we're just going to have this as a relationship. She's platonic, but she's also somebody who's not emotionally invested. So for some of you guys, it might be that you get your release by not emotionally invested in the commitment, okay? And therefore, with the Ace of Swords, communicating that, or bringing about that change, or bringing about some form of truth, because Hierophant and Swords, Ace of Swords, are both about truth tellers and being honest. So and they're all sort of swords, or not focused on emotion. So yeah, you could get your release, but it won't be But I think it's only if you adapt to something, whether that's separation or whether that's just adapting to the relationship and saying, okay, we're just going to take the relationship as this, and we won't have the emotion or the, you know, the investment emotionally in this. We're just going to, you know, play it as either, you know, a power couple would, or we'll just do it based on energies that are anything other than romance, because that's what seems to bring in the problems. The overall outcome, saying the blocks in your relationship, and this is the area where you need to be aware of mostly, is that one of you is going to, blocks our closeness within the relationship, the Nine of Pentacles reversed, okay, that one of you wants the relationship to be a lot closer than it is, and that's because there are still untied loose ends. Could be with a person, King of Cups in the reverse, somebody who wants everything their own way, somebody who holds back a lot, somebody who holds a lot of shit down deep and they're not saying it. It could be that, you know, the block is to getting closer within this relationship because there are loose ends, okay, that are bringing about maybe some internalized rage, internalized anger, fear within the relationship, and these things are not being explored, and that's where your blockage really is. I think the rage or the resentment, I would say, because this is somebody who's resentful, the resentment that's being built up in this relationship, all right, your blockage is not having the closeness. So those are your blocks going forward, not having the closeness in the relationship. And I think that there's a lack of closure on this, because there's a lack of closure in terms of rage and internalized shit going on here. Okay, there also is a lack of closure with somebody that doesn't want that. They just can't do that with this King of Cups. This could be the person, he or she just can't do it. So your block is in the future, it's a lack of closeness, because it might be with the World in the reverse. There's a lack of closure here, especially for someone who's got other problems going on. Person might not find any resolving other problems going on as well. So that's what I'm seeing. I know it's not the greatest of readings, but it's almost like saying if you can take a relationship for some of you guys on the basis that it's on, then that's the way it's going to be at the moment, you know. That's the way it's going to be at the moment. Some of you guys might need to settle for that, and some of you guys won't want to. It's your call. Okay, that is your extended love reading for October, guys. I would like to say thanks ever so much for joining me on Carol's Universe, and I'll speak to you guys on your Celtic Cross Generals. Take care.